So I got a new project here, and that is this steering tube for this old boat motor. That is just completely frozen solid in there. It's just completely stuck. It's not gonna move. And I got this all pretty much tear down here, and I worked quite a bit on trying to free this up, because that was my first plan. But that did not work. It's haven't moved a millimeter. So what I'm gonna do here, that is to take this off the boat, and then I'm gonna try to remove this old piece of shit that is stuck in there, and yeah, I'm just gonna destroy it, kind of trying to get it out, and then I'm just gonna make a new one. Let's get started on taking this off the boat here. So I got this is kind of a homemade contraption, because this whole steering, that whole piece kind of was seized in here because it wasn't stainless either. So that's fixed, and now this thing is seized. So, but I got that thing out of there, and now these pins here, I can't get them out. That one I don't care about, but I'm just gonna go ahead and cut that off and have to make something of that later. And then I think that's the only thing that is holding it in place now. Would you say that was supposed to happen? We got a couple measurements off of this thing, so let's go ahead and cut this down a bit. So interesting here, if you want to focus, you can see it has a rubber something all the way around this thing. Kind of interesting, but yeah, I don't know, because I thought to put this thing in the mill that I like finished today, and then bore this whole thing out with just a big drill bit. Just drill all the way through here. But that rubber thing, that seems kind of, I don't know, because this is 30 millimeters, and I got a drill bit that is 30 mil, so that would turn out pretty perfect. Just drill all the way through, and if the surface finish is terrible, I don't care, because it will work, whatever that is. So, and if it's oversized, I will turn this inside piece on the lathe, so it doesn't matter what the size is really. So I first thought this was a rubber sleeve going the whole way, but it was not, and you'll see a little later what it actually was. But that rubber kind of made me a little, I don't know what I should do. Gonna have to figure a little bit on this. About 30 seconds I was thinking here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and drill this out to 30 mil, I think, and then we'll see what we do about all this here. It's still a problem with this mill. This is about all the space we got between here, so we can't put it in the mill this way. But because this is a horizontal mill, actually, we can just take this whole head off, and we have a spindle in here. So let's take that off. Oh, I don't know how you take this off really, but I'm just gonna try it. That's the wrong way, obviously. Yeah. There you go. And then we'll pop some pieces of wood under here. We don't need that many. this maybe works. Yeah. Let's install these little drive dogs that was taken out sometime. I did actually manage to find them in all the parts that we got with this mill. That was nice. I thought, I'm like, no, are they probably gone or something? But no, I did find them, so that's good. Just a 30mm drill bit. Pop this. That ain't gonna work. I ain't gonna work. I didn't even think about that. Pop that in there. Oh, this thing is heavy. Oh. There we go. Ooh, yeah. There we go. Got a vise in here now. Slide these in here. No. Maybe it works. We're figuring a bit how to clamp this, but these two sides here are parallel. So I think I'm gonna put these in the vise and clamp it, this way. And then and actually, now when I think about it, these I can just put here, and then it all should be perfect, right? Yeah, I sure think so. I'm just gonna check. This is parallel with this drill bit here. And it doesn't need to be perfect for this, and you really should run an indicator across this and whatever, but we're not doing that. I'm supposed to put this thing in here now. And just hope we have something to climb onto here. That is not bad, I don't think. I ain't going nowhere. I think that's all good. And then it should be good. This way doesn't really matter. Because I'm just centering on this hole, so if this whole piece is, a little bit like that, that doesn't matter, I don't think. But I need to be centered this way and this way now. In a perfect world, I would just have an indicator and probably run it around here and get it pretty close. But I don't have an indicator, so I spent a little while going around and just measuring from the drill bit. I measured from this point right there on the drill bit to like that. I measured like that, and that is pretty close. I mean, it's not perfect, but I think for this it's perfect enough. So that is pretty close. And I think they are in line too. They should be, and that way it's gonna be that because it's put, it is on. It should be parallel. Yeah, but we'll just hope that is good. I suppose you just throw a little bit of oil on that drill bit there and start drilling. So far I just drilled a tiny bit there, but I think it's looking good. And that noise you can hear, that sound kind of bad. I think it's coming from these gears here. I don't really know what it is, but we just leave it alone for now. Okay, I was a little aggressive there, but it's lifting up here because it's just holding like from here and back. So I suppose we'll have to make some kind of clamp that clamps this down here. So let's see if we can get this clamp on here now. Oh, that's the wrong. There we have to go. Would like it in that one, but ain't gonna work. This will at least be better than no clamp. Go down. Tighten this up here a bit and just hope it doesn't move. Just a nice little bend should be perfect, right? So, I think that should be good. Suppose you just continue drilling. We have a long ways to go. I have to line this better. It wasn't particularly good actually. It was pretty bad. You can see if it's taken off way too much on one side, it's gonna go that way. Should take more on the other side. I think that is looking pretty center there. No, maybe it should go back a hair, but it's pretty dang good now. So now it's just to drill the whole way through. So I've drilled a little bit at least here. And then this rubber thing that was here, that is just a seal. So that we have to get rid of later. And then the ID in here, I think that's around 30 mil. So then here I just, it's kind of off center. That's why this little piece is left here. But it's going pretty good. The only problem is that the drill bit is getting pretty hot, so that's not great, but yeah. And this whole piece is warm too, so I suppose I come that far, which I don't know, it's not far. a long ways to go. Let's remove this, what I think is at least a seal here. Oh. So there's a plastic liner in here, kind of. I don't think I've been cutting into this thing now. That's good. I suppose just to continue drilling. Hopefully, when we get, I don't know, a bit in here, we maybe can knock the rest out so we don't have to drill the whole way. But for now, I think just to keep drilling. So there you can see I drilled out a good lot more, and then this is a plastic bushing that sits in the end of this here. So that's what it's riding on. I suppose there's one in the other end too. So that is, and then there's a lot of crap this drill bit is drilling through, and it doesn't like rust. There you can kind of see it's all buggered up, and that's where it's going through the rust on the inside of this pipe that I'm drilling out now. So let's see if we can sharpen that up a little. What do you think? I don't think that's too bad, just hand sharpening. Yeah, let's continue drilling. That's really sharp. You can cap me on that now. So this is looking pretty good. You can see in there, maybe you can see the edge, and it's about 7 centimeters from right there and back to the where I stopped drilling, because I can't drill any further because the table doesn't go far enough back, and the drill bit is also kind of, I'm up here now, so I can't drill the whole way. So I'm gonna have to turn it around and drill from this way in. But before that, I'm gonna see if this thing moves. If I can just hit it, maybe get it to turn, and then maybe get a punch and just punch it out. Because that would be a lot less work. Let's get it out of the wires. Let's see if we can get this out here. go. It's out. Finally. Kind of missed that last bit there. Just kind of waiting on an angle, but I think it's fine. Yeah, let's go ahead and get this cleaned up a bit and see what we're working with here. I cleaned this up a bunch and it's all nice and not greasy now. So let's see if we can clean it up a bit on the inside here. So I got that cleaned up pretty nice up here where the bushing sits. And on the bushings there, those, okay, I couldn't find these old bushings there, but they sit in here and they're just garbage. So we've ordered some plastic so I can turn some bushings. And so we have to wait a couple of days on that, but got that cleaned up here. And then you see all that yellow crap in down there? That is what I think is at least old grease, so I'm gonna try to clean that out. Just a pipe that I beveled a bit actually works pretty good to just scrape that crap away. I think that's looking pretty good in there. Then I drilled this piece out, just like that piece pretty well. Put it in the vise there and just drilled straight through. So now that is 30 mil. Sadly, I did end up getting here, so the top here is like 31 mil sadly, but yeah, it is what it is. I have to make do with that or something. So here, this surface is just super rough, and this thing, it's gonna have a washer, so this whole thing is gonna ride on this surface here, and it's just super rough. And I'm not sure how much it goes up there, but it's a lot of material gone. I don't know if you can see that, but it's an edge right there. So it should go up quite a bit, so I'm not sure how much, but I'm just gonna take it off so I get a nice flat surface around here, and that should be good, I think. So let's get this set up in the mill and try to mill this flat here. So I'm gonna try using this thing that we also got with the mill. Took a while to get a drawbar in there. It's kinda, I have to fix something about that later, but for now it works. Let's see if we can get this thing in place here. So, let's just move it up. So, we cut it. I want to have to move it more that way. I wasn't thinking. Almost high enough now. Oh, so easy this thing turns now. The moving this thing after I got some oil on the lead screw there. That's so much smoother. Holy crap. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. So I'm just gonna take a cut. I'm gonna touch off down here. Just take off a hair down here, and literally just go up as high as I can till I'm touching something or taking off enough or whatever. We'll see how it goes. That doesn't look bad at all, but I would like to take a little more down here. Not necessary, but it's kind of rough, so. And when I'm doing it, you know, why not? To get it down to perfect material there, I have to take a lot off, but I'm just gonna leave it like it is. You got a good ring, a good material to sit on, so that should be good. And then I have to make a spacer, a little washer kind of, that is, I don't know, maybe even closer to 6 mil thick already. So yeah, I think that'll be good, good enough. Honestly, I don't know if how well you can see it, but I'm pretty impressed with the surface finish. Maybe it was a really sharp cutter, so that helps for sure. I wasn't perfectly centered though, but yeah, I don't care about that. That's fine. It's just a boat motor that we want to work. And if I haven't said that already, this is just a work boat, maybe you can call it. You just use that to, you know, do a bunch of work at sea. That's kind of mainly what it's used for. It's kind of beat up, but it works pretty good. The engine here, that's a good engine. It's a good old 2-stroke. It just runs and runs. But that's not what we should talk about. We should, well, I suppose I could make a spacer, but I don't really know what I should make a spacer, because they already had a spacer here. Can get it off, or with one hand at least. So I'm gonna have to make one that is, I don't know, what I took off plus that, and maybe another 3 mil or something like that. So that's turning into be 5-6 mil maybe. And I don't know if I have, well, wait a minute. How wide is this thing? That is 50 mil, so I should have something to make that out of actually. Then is it this tube that I'm gonna make too. So this thing is the only thing we got, a really thick wool pipe. I don't know the name for that, but that's the only thing we got that we can get a 30 mil out of it. So let's cut 30, I don't know, 1 centimeters or so off of this thing. 30, there. Should be good, I hope. So let's cut that off. There we go. A live center in there, and then put this thing just in there a little bit. Snug that up. So got this thing all set up here. This thing is all good, and I got a 20 mil there, and I'm gonna turn it to closer to 30, like 28 or something. And then I'm gonna make a thinner washer. I don't know why I said I'm gonna have to make it so thick when I make both parts. Then I'm gonna turn this down to around 30 mil. Doesn't really matter because I'm making the plastic bushings too. So it's just, you know, somewhere around 30 should be good. Which that means a centimeter to take off with the diameter. So I suppose it's just to get turning here. So to change this out to a dead center, because if not, this tool would hit the live center. Which is, the difference is that this thing spins and this thing is fixed to the tailstock. And this would just, all of them would just hit the tool there. So I have to change that out. But now that should go. Now I just have to get the right speed for the carriage, set that up so it can just move on its own till, I'll have to mark out where I'm gonna stop though. Yeah, but now it's all fully just to turn. Okay, so that's going quite fast. This is how you turn stainless into gold. It's kind of dull. I don't know if any other edge is better. We really should buy some. But they're expensive. I mean, for 10 of these little pieces of metal, you're gonna pay like $100. I suppose it's just to buy some, even if they are bloody expensive. As long as you don't crash them, they should be good for a long time. Now we can continue tomorrow though, because it's getting kind of late now. Ouch. That thing is just really hot. That is another cut, but I don't really care about the surface finish right now. I just care about removing some material, and then I'm gonna take a finish pass and hopefully get something that looks more or less like that. There's another cut. Just like twice as much to go or so. I think I'm down to 36 from 40, so that's not too bad. But I don't take too heavy cuts, I don't know. I maybe can take more, but I don't know. No, I'm not. Let's take about 12 minutes to do the whole thing, I think, roughly. So it takes a while, but the surface finish on this last bit here, that's pretty good. So now the cut is down to 32 if I remember right. And I'm gonna just clean this up a little here, and then I'm gonna go do something else, let this cool down a little, because yeah, it's pretty hot now. I removed on the diameter 4 mil or so this time. So I think that's pretty good. Yeah. This time it didn't get at least so long and stringy. You got a little smaller pieces, these chips here. So that's kind of good. There it is. You know, really the best are these small chips. If you get things like this, that's the best. If you get your small little pieces. But, yeah. This works. The surface finish is actually really nice, so I'm happy with that. Let's go make that washer there. But it's gonna sit between here and the aluminum part. I'm gonna use that at the bottom instead. That washer, and because the one at the bottom can be the same thickness, but that one I kind of ruined when I cut this off. So I'm gonna use that at the bottom, and let's make. Yeah, how thick do I gonna make it? I think I just make it 5 mil, and then I turn that piece at the top here. I'm gonna just make that like 26, something like that. Not super precise, it doesn't really matter, but we'll make it about 65 or so. There. This should work, and be plenty good enough. And it is 5 mil thick, so that's good. And let's cut this out now. So here's well, it's not a washer because it doesn't have a hole in it, but so let's make a hole. But I'm gonna go ahead and take the final pass on this, because now this is pretty cold. Well, it's still warm, but I'm just eyeballing it there, and then I'm gonna take a little cut, and then I have to measure and see so it's right. .993. So if I make a 30 mil hole later, that should probably be good, I think. What happened with that surface finish? That is awful. Absolutely terrible. And that is because I chipped the insert, I suppose. Yeah, that is no good. We got another insert on here. Let's see if that's gonna work a little better. So look at that surface finish. I don't know how you, doesn't want to focus. It's like, it is good, but then is it all these little, I don't know what you call it, but It's terrible because I ground this insert because it was dull and I don't have any other ones. But now I reground it, so I hope it works now. And I'm just gonna test on the end here because I'm gonna probably cut it like there or something. I don't really know that yet, but yeah. Let's take a final pass on this now. Still not great, but it maybe will work. I don't know. So it might be a pretty small tool, but it does cut a heck of a nice surface finish. So let's just go ahead and skim this off, like 0.2 of a mil or something like that. That was the nicest surface finish on this whole piece, the start and the ending here. And you can't even feel that. Or maybe you can feel it a little bit, but that's pretty good. Now I'm gonna have to clean this up here. Not too bad, I don't think. That's looking pretty nice. And I suppose this is, yeah. I can't make this better with a sandpaper or anything. So that is perfectly good enough. So I suppose let's just face this end off. Now I'm gonna destroy my nice surface finish here. But I'm gonna grab it in the middle so it doesn't, I don't need to care about it because it's not gonna ride against anything. About right there. And I don't need to face this, but I thought it would look nicer. That isn't even badly marked. I mean, it's marked, but you can't even feel it. And up here, I didn't care about surface finish. I just want to clean it up a bit. Because I'm just going to put, you know, 2 flat bars on either side and weld them. Well, 2 flat bars on either side. So let's make a hole in this washer here instead. Let's use our fancy parallel here. I'm just kidding. Just something to square it up a little bit. Just clamp that down a bit. Drill a 32 mil hole. So this bit here did not like stainless. So let's just try boring it out. Small boring bar. This one should be able to cut that. I put the top side like this so I can run this in and out here. Then I can just run it back and forth like that. That's easy than turning this big wheel. Because if you need to turn it slow, it can go kind of fast. So you get more of it, more feel running it this way. So here you go, this thing, so nice. I also cleaned the outside up a little there. You can see that on the belt grinder, just with a 240 grit, I think it was. Now this can just sit like this, and then go in there, sit like that. But I need some to turn some plastic bushings, and the plastic, well, I hope they've sent it, or send it today, and it's a weekend, so that will take a couple of days sadly, but yeah, and I sure hope this thing fits in here. He does not really do that. That is no good. I didn't think about that. Or maybe can just clean this up a little bit somehow, because it's kind of rough. And this is like 30.1 or something, and this is probably 30. That's why it didn't go in. And I didn't think about that. I just thought, oh, it's gonna be roughly 30, a little more, a little less, doesn't matter. But I didn't think it has to fit in this though. I don't think it's a great solution, but yeah, it's kind of loose on there now. But it doesn't matter. It fits pretty good. I just took it, the die grinder, and just took off like tiny bit. Now it fits good and on the shaft there. Happy with that. Now this thing should be going like that. Looks really good. Now this thing goes in here. And then, yeah, it's gonna just, I'd like to have the plastic now and start turning that down and getting all that good, but well, can't do that because I don't have any plastic. So got this washer little braid cleaned off here. That also fits pretty good on there. Just a little loose. And then, well, we're gonna cut it to length now. I'm not gonna drill the hole for this thing before I have the plastic bushings, but I'm just gonna make it a little longer because it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna cut it somewhere right there. Because this thing doesn't fit in the spindle of the leg, so I can't just put it in and put the chuck up here. So I think I'm just gonna cut that off with an angle grinder and then just face it off to make it look nice. Let's put this together here. I really would like to have these bushings now made, but yeah, sadly we didn't know that before. Took this apart and, well, didn't take it apart before the I don't know. We don't have it either way. So there we go. That is looking pretty nice. I'm probably gonna end up trimming this off here a little bit, but we'll see about that later. Yeah, so now it's just time to start making really this whole piece at the top. But that will be my next video here. This is getting kind of long. We got a good bit done here. We got this old piece of crap board out, and then we got the shaft made and the washer here. So, and that is all looking real nice. And that is all for this video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.